brotherly love with him. Like he called him like, oh yeah, Coach Will. I mean, Coach Muschamp. It just seems like they're getting along really well, and that's what you need to hear, because I think we all know that Muschamp can bring the knowledge, but really early on, it's about setting the foundation for the way he wants it to be. If it's going to be more intense, if it's going to be you're going to get yelled at more versus you're going to get coached up softly, but also making sure the players are bought into what he's doing. And I think Simmons is a player who I think could maybe have a negative. I guess individually, it might not be as good for him because it's not quite a pin your ears back and go rush the passer defense as much as it's we're going to disguise a lot. We're going to be dropping the coverage a little bit. You're going to have to do a lot in the run game. It's not going to be as much about getting sacks as it is forcing interceptions or TFLs in the run game. So Simmons, it seems very bought in. You heard Lance Jackson talk about how much like Muschamp immediately pushed him. I mean, Muschamp, it sounded like he came in and within 5 minutes of meeting, Lance Jackson said, all right, need 20 more pounds from you. Need you to be a bit feistier down in the trenches, and then we'll be good. So I think he's bringing a pretty positive voice and a positive light to this defense.
How about that linebacker room, the area where Texas maybe has the most talent to replace out of any individual spot on this team?
Yeah, I think Rasheem Biles has already had pretty good feedback, at least from the players talking about him. It seems like I asked Shiro Kanu, like, you were one of those transfers that came in, and transfers usually aren't the leaders of a team, but you came in and immediately took over that role, and that helped with the Ohio State game and as the season went forward. And he said the Biles is clearly the player who has that leadership acumen and has come in and taken over that bit of that quarterbacking the defense idea. It's also, with Tyanthony Smith out for spring, and hopefully he's not 205 pounds for a kickoff against Texas State, but we'll see. It's given opportunity for some of these younger guys to stand out and step up. And I think Tyler Atkinson obviously is a name that we're all getting used to hearing now more. And he's athletically just in a different spot than you'd expect an 18-year-old to be. He looks like he's on his second contract on an NFL team, and he just got here. So I think guys like he and Cummings have a chance to like really impress and say, all right, we know Biles is going to start. Smith will eventually come back in, but Brad Spence is playing on the edge to start in camp. Juice Cryer is good, but he's less flashy. The ceiling's a little lower with him as a player. If they need a third or fourth linebacker, it's very up in the air for who can take it. And I think that's at least a positive even within a thinner room, admittedly, going into the spring practices.